Have you ever had a cop beating your ass?
Shoulda had your camera going on your dash.
You better go live and know your rights,
or you might be sitting in jail tonight.
News Now Ohio on the scene. None of these pigs know their rights like me. Fuck the Hamilton PD. You pigs can't touch me.
What's up, everybody? It's Rowdy Patriot. All right, guys. So I'm making my coffee while I talk. So here's what's going down, or here's what happened. Okay. So I got this bullshit theft charge. All right. Didn't know what happened, whatever. Just I was driving down the road, going to my son's to get some wood for him, and he got sworn by fucking 100 cops. You know, they arrested me, said I had a warrant out for me for felony theft. I'm like, what? I was like, no, I don't. I was like, that's not true. But come to find out, it was. So where I had been going and getting materials for my son, they had been watching me, I guess, thinking that I was stealing from them. Well, I never was. Okay. Anyway, they had like 80 videos, right? I mean, it took my lawyer. Anyways, I went to court. They gave me, first time they gave me a $2,500 bond. Posted it, got out. A couple months later, I got a thing saying I was no billed. The grand jury didn't find enough evidence to convict or to take me to court. I was like, cool. Thought it was over with. 5 months later, same thing. I'm driving down the road. Boom, get sworn. You got a warrant for felony theft. I'm like, what? No, I don't. I beat that, right? So, anyway, I go to court. I go to jail. Sat in jail for like 5 days until court. Went in there. Judge OR bonds me. So I get out on a signature. So I get out. Same lawyer who was my lawyer that they gave me from the first time, they just gave me her again. Okay, I'm not gonna say her name. You know, I don't want to. She's dealing with enough right now because of me. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not really because of me, but it's because they went after her. But anyways, I'll get to that. So I meet with her. You know, we go through all these videos. I mean, it took us like 2 months to go through all these videos. We find nothing that we done wrong, or I done wrong. I mean, down to where, it was really weird. So what happened is what they would do is they would show literally 10 minutes, right? Okay, they had video of me coming into the back gate. It was at Menards, okay? So I don't know if anybody's ever bought anything or returned anything at Menards where you have to go around to the lumberyard. So here's the thing. When you buy lumber, you have to go in and purchase it. You get a ticket. You go around to a gate guard. You give the gate guard the ticket. Gate guard looks at it, goes, okay, goes through. You go through, you go and load what you bought, come out, you give the gate guard back your ticket. He checks your load. He signs the paper, gives it to you, and you leave. Okay, now when you return things, same way. I mean, if it's a couple boards, then you just take it in. But if it's a lot, they want you to take it around back. So what you do is you go in, you get a slip. You tell them, you say, hey, I got a return, it needs to go around the back. So they take a clipboard, put a paper in there. They come out with you. They check your load. And I hope one of my viewers has done this so that you guys can verify it. They check your load. They write it down on the paper. They give you your pink copy. You take it around to the gate guard. You give the gate guard the paper. He takes it. He looks at what you got, looks at what's on the slip, makes sure it matches. He gives it back to you. You go in, you drop your load. You come back around to the gate guard. You give it to him. He checks, makes sure everything's gone, and he signs it, gives it to you. You go around, you get your money back. So that's what happens. That's how it goes. You are checked. When you return things, you're checked at least twice. When you buy things, you're checked at least once. You're checked when you go, twice, but leaving, you're checked every time. They have one of them railroad things down. You can't get out the yard without giving the gate guard your shit and him checking your fucking shit. So this is how they're saying that I stole $24,000 in wood, guys. Yeah, like, okay, what? I mean, it blew my mind. So what what would happen is they would show a video, the videos that they had, right, that they wanted to submit to court. And my lawyer told me that they were trying to bore the jury to death, that they wanted to get the jury to be bored so that they're just like, look, let's just convict this guy. You know what I mean? This is what she was like, this is a ploy that they use, a tactic that they use. And I see it all the time. What had happened is that they would have the video, right, of the gate guard just pointing down at the gate. 5 minutes, you'd sit there and look at an empty gate. And then all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, you'll see me drive through, give the gate guard my ticket, get it, drive around. Then they'd show an empty warehouse where you load the wood at. 10 minutes of being just sitting there. And you can't fast forward it. We tried to fast forward. If you try to fast forward, it turned the whole screen blue. It was weird. Even my lawyer said, I'm not a computer guy, y'all know that. My lawyer is. And she was like, I've never seen this before. She's like, I don't understand why it's turning blue anytime I try to fast forward it. So she would fast forward it, then hit play, and it'd just be a blue screen that you couldn't see anything. So we had to sit there and watch these videos. I mean, it took us a month and a half. It took us 4 different visits to go through, 4 or 5 different visits, 3 and 4 hour long visits to go through all the videos, because that's how much wasted time there was. And you couldn't, she was able to fast forward one of them, and she was able to only enlarge one where I was returning wood, okay? Granted, all right? I did miscount, okay? And I'm sorry that it was a $24,000 mistake, but I had 2 extra, or I said I had 2 extra boards than I had. So 2 2x8s, 16 foot long, costed me $24,000. I'm a human being. Of course, I was in there fucking almost every day, buying materials for my son's construction company, picking it up, returning it for him. So I'm a human being, I'm not going to I would never go into court and say, look, I can't say I never made a mistake. I'm a human. Of course, I may have miscounted a couple times or something, but I'm not going to also say that I didn't miscount in Menard's favor, because I could have, because again, I'm a human being. But out of all the videos we tried to, because it's pretty far away the camera was, so it's really hard to count the boards, but we gave it hell. And the only video we saw out of like 88 videos was one video where I said I was returning 10 boards and I had 8 of one. I had 30 of one, 2 of another, and 8 of another. And I said I had 10. I had 30, 2, and 10. Okay, so, and I only returned 30, 2, and 8. But on that slip, on that, that thing, they had writing on it saying that I said I had 30, 2, and 10, and that I only returned 14, none of the 2, and 6 of the 10 that I said I had. So they fucking said I didn't have well over double of what I really had. And me and my lawyer wrote that down. Well, so here we go. We're about 2 weeks from court, 3 weeks. They offer me a plea deal. I tell them to get fucked. Even my lawyer, by law, she has to tell me. She told me. But she also said, I don't think we should take it. What the evidence they have is circumstantial. It's all bullshit. I know this. You know that. Very fishy. She was like, I think we can beat it. She was like, ultimately it's your call, but I'm going to give you my advice. I think it's very circumstantial evidence, and I don't think that they have a case. If you want to take the plea deal, this is it. But my recommendation as your lawyer is that we take it to trial. I was like, well, I have every intention on taking it to trial. I'm not taking a plea deal. I was like, they can shove a plea deal up their ass. She was like, good. Well, a week goes by. This is about 3 weeks before court, a month before court. So, time's cooking down. Here it is, 1 week before trial. Okay, it was a Monday, or no, it was a Friday. Okay, she called me, and she was freaking out. So I'm going to include her phone call in this video. So after this, we're done talking. When I edit the video, I'm going to edit in that other the phone call if I can. If I can't, I'll do another video with just that. or I have it on my YouTube channel, but it's private. I'll make it public. Okay. Either way, you guys are gonna hear the video. Or the audio. Okay, because I recorded. She called me twice, or maybe she didn't. Maybe she called. She only called me once. But I think I had 2 recordings. One was like 15 minutes, and I realized that I didn't have it on speaker like a moron because I was recording on my wife's phone. I was talking to her on my phone, but I was recording on my wife's, and I didn't have it on. I just had them close together because I'm an idiot. I didn't have it on speaker, and my wife was finally like, put it on speaker. So I stopped it and then put it on speaker, I think. Anyway it goes. I have 2. There's lawyer call 1 and lawyer call 2. So, and you guys are going to hear them, okay? In this video, she's going to be calling me and telling me how crying, dude. She's crying, freaking out, her mind's blown. And come to find out that they told her that they're doing an investigating on her, and that she had to drop all her clients because they are charging, or they're claiming she was intoxicated in court. Now, grant you guys, the day that they said that she was intoxicated was like a Tuesday prior to this phone call, it was like a week and a half, 7 to 10 days prior to her phone, them telling her that they think she was intoxicated, blah blah. So mind you, and she was like, well, if you thought I was intoxicated, why did you guys knew I had court cases in Monroe, why did you let me leave the courtroom, get in my car, and drive to another court? If you thought I was intoxicated, shouldn't you have tested me, let me know? You don't wait 7 to 10 days when the alcohol is obviously out of my system and I can't take a breathalyzer, none of that, to prove my innocence. And I told her, I was like, Tracy, I was like, they're doing this to you because of me. Because you won't force, or you won't try to push and recommend the plea deal for me. I was like, look, I'll give you guys her first name, Tracy. I was like, Tracy, this is what's going on with you. This is why they're doing this to you. Trust and believe, this is why. So she was like, well, after Monday, I'm not going to be your lawyer anymore. So if you have any questions you want to ask, please do. She was like, I can't volunteer anything to you, but if you ask me the question, I can answer it. I'm like, so I'm racking my brains, guys. I mean, the second call was an hour or more. And I was racking my brains trying to ask the right question. Because she would, in the middle of things, she was like, look, you're getting close to the right question, but so you know what I mean? And it's blowing my mind. I mean, I asked everything. You guys were hearing. I asked everything, down to, did the prosecutor know that does the prosecutor know that I didn't commit this crime? Does he know this? And she answered that. And she did answer it with saying that the original prosecutor didn't want to prosecute my case, that he thought it was a bad case. And that she'd come in a week or 2 later, and he was no longer the prosecutor for the courtroom that was hearing my case, that he had been transferred to another court, and they had a new one, and the new guy was gung-ho to take my case. Anyway, you guys are going to hear it, and they burnt my lawyer down. She called me briefly Monday, okay? I'm going to let you know. And she had told me that, it takes 2 or 3 weeks for me to get a new lawyer. You know what I mean? And that once she pulls away from my case, that, they're going to have to give me an extension because, court's a week away. And they had to have time to get me a new lawyer and a lawyer to get familiar with my case. This was Monday that she told me this when she called me. Okay, when she was no longer my lawyer. And I was like, so either be looking for a phone call or a letter from the court in 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 3, 4 weeks. And I'm like, okay, guys. She said, I have never seen it quicker than 2 weeks. Never. She's like, as long as I've been a lawyer, 20 years, I've never seen them get when a lawyer's dropped from someone's case quicker than 2 weeks. Usually it's closer to a month before you get another attorney. Guys, I want you to know right now, I got a phone call on Tuesday, the next fucking day, by my new lawyer, who was all gung-ho. Lo and behold, how that's a good plea deal, and I really should consider it. That she'll look at my case, but when people testify against you, that is overwhelming evidence, and it's very hard to get past that. I was like, there's literally video that you can't see me do anything. I didn't steal anything. I didn't take anything. I always had what I had purchased or returned, except one time. I was like, so I don't understand why you're saying that. The video's not good evidence, but some workers at Menards who only saw the video, their testimony's good. Does that make sense to anybody, or have I lost my fucking mind? So anyway, she extended my court one time. It was out a month. The whole time I was told how she called me 3 times. Each time, all she did was push the plea deal on me. The last time she was like, well, look, Mr. Smith, I have a feeling you're facing 7 years. Because when they re-indicted me, guys, they couldn't get me for one felony theft charge, grand theft charge. But for somehow, 5 months later, when I resubmitted it and the prosecutor threw all kinds of shit at me, 5 different charges, they all stuck. Ain't it funny how that happened? One didn't stick before, but now 4 or 5, I think it was 5, but could have been 4. 4 charges do stick, right? So, all that aside, guys, I will include the phone call for you guys. I basically took a plea deal, and I didn't have a fucking choice. I had a lawyer that didn't want to fight it in trial. Well, I basically flat out was told, you're going to lose. I'm not really going to fight for you. This is what I was told. Basically, in a roundabout, fucked up way, this is what was told to me. I went from a lawyer this was a shitty case, highly circumstantial evidence, no proof, to a lawyer who said, oh, you can't beat this. This is overwhelming evidence because these people are going to testify against you. I'm like, these people didn't witness me do anything. They saw it on a video. The same videos that you could look at, that me and Tracy looked at, that found nothing wrong, found nothing that I did wrong. I was like, so I don't know how you're saying. She's like, it's just because in Ohio, people's testimonies very highly looked at very highly. I'm like, you're not making no sense. And and I sat back and thought, I was like, yeah, it does make sense, because she's telling me I'm not going to fight for you. You're going to get found guilty, and when you do, they can sentence you to 7 years. So fuck that. I'm almost 60 years. I'm not doing 7 years in prison. That would be pretty much all my life left. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Fuck that. I'm not doing it. So I took a plea deal, and now I'm in something called Veterans Court. I mean, it's all cool. I didn't have to they didn't put me in jail or prison or nothing, but it's just a bunch of hoops that I got to jump through, which are ridiculous. But I'll play their game. I'll do what's expected of me, and I'll get off of it. The worst part of this all is that I got to pay Menards $24,000 in restitution for shit I didn't take. You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy. But it is what it is. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a hater and you're watching this, go ahead and do a video on your channel. Don't comment on my channel, because if you do, I'm going to block you. I'm done with you scumbags. If you want to go suck a cop off, go suck a cop off. don't come on my channel sucking cops, because I'm not on it. My real subscribers, they're not on it. We don't like you. You guys are, people like you are dirtbags. You're just like that dude that was in over in California when Nasty Nathaniel got jumped by the sheriff, and then they fucked with him, and then the police ended up doing some dirty shit to one of them, and he come back to Nasty Nathaniel trying to beg him for to help him on his channel. You know what I mean? And he did, because that's how Nathaniel is. I'd have told the dude to get bent. You know what I mean? But that's all neither here nor there. Just letting you know, if you're a troll, cop lover, you're gonna get bombed. You will get blocked on my channel and not be able to post anymore. So you might as well just go ahead and unsub and get the fuck out of here, because I'm not gonna play games with you. This is serious. This is real bullshit. And anybody with 2 brain cells will be able to see when this is done what happened. Period. Bottom line. All right, y'all. I'm out. I'm gonna edit this. Sweet. News or Rowdy Patriot out.
Have you ever had a cop beating your ass? Shoulda had your camera going on your dash. You better go live and know your rights, or you might be sitting in jail tonight.
News Now Ohio on the scene. None of these pigs know their rights like me. Fuck the Hamilton PD. You pigs can't touch me.